matter how dark or hard or horrible your night was, when you choose and make that best choice of starting your day with us, I can guarantee you, you will sail through with smiles because we give you relevant information, topical issues, but also those light moments, because we know life too serious becomes another burden to the owner. Now, welcome to the Extra. What we do here is still, we have a guest or guests in studios and we discuss issues of national importance. This morning, I want to focus on advancing community-based rehabilitation. Now, we are once again honored and privileged as a country that will be hosting another international conference. Now, this is Community-Based Rehabilitation Africa Conference that will be running in our country from the 9th to 13th of September at the Imperial Botanical Beach Hotel in Entebbe. And joining me to discuss this and more issues regarding community-based rehabilitation, I have Patrick Menya, the principal, well, sometimes the word disturbs me, Giro Tolo, yes, from the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Robert, and our viewer there. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being there for us. And Robert, I need to thank UBC that we've been together. We are together in this as we host the international. So as we host the CBR conference, Africa, we shall be together up to the end. Yeah.
Now that said, there are key words here.
Yeah.
One, rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And we're talking of rehabilitation that is community-based.
Community-based.
First, when we talk about rehabilitation in this context, what are we referring to?
Robert and the viewer out there, we want to emphasize that most times persons with disabilities were discriminated. And I want to say, even up to now, persons with disabilities are discriminated in terms of access to opportunities. And we are talking about equalization of opportunities. And because of that, the government of Uganda came up with a strategy that is CBR, which eventually has become an African network. It has gone, it is now even global, where we are saying let the community integrate persons with disabilities at their level. If we are talking about discrimination in terms of jobs, in terms of access to services, then we are saying, what about at the community level? If I'm from Kasangati and we have persons with disabilities, we have resources that can be used to integrate persons with disabilities in our communities. So we are talking about integration or inclusion of persons with disabilities at the community level, so that we are not seeing everything to be at a national level. We are talking about community-based rehabilitation. How can we rehabilitate? How can we make sure that this person with a disability is within us? Robert and the listener, I want people to understand that initially people were taking disability as a curse. That is, it is a witchcraft. If I bear a child with a disability, then people say, Oibamuloga, that is a curse. It's a witchcraft. So we are saying we want to demystify that and say, no, this is God's plan. Let us integrate this person with disability within us. This person is not wasted. This person is useful so long as we integrate him within our community.
Now, when you talk about integration, I need more clarity on this. Is it just saying that we don't shun them, because previously some would even be taken at the backyards, there's a special room, no one sees them, so we let them amongst us? Or does it mean we even bring them and give them equal opportunities like those without disabilities?
Robert, you have said it. It is not only integrating to say that we are not shunning them. We should be part of, but we are talking about participation. They should participate in what Robert and I can do. Our children with disabilities have gone to school. We have persons with disabilities with masters, with degrees, with doctorates. They should be part of us in the development. So as we are talking about integration, it is holistic, right from the community, and in terms of provision of jobs, equalization of opportunities, everybody should be part of the development. That's what we're talking about, the inclusion of persons with disabilities in the development agenda.
Now, one would say we've had this affirmative action for persons with disability, I think, since the NRM government came into power. We'll talk about the last decade. It has been so massive. Government has been everywhere, non-governmental organizations, that's also the civil society, Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. I want to commend them for that. But something keeps coming up. We've made these voices. So far, if you to assess, what achievements have we made, apart from the political arena, where we are having positions ring-fenced?
Thank you. True, we are talking about the political arena where persons with disabilities have been represented, right from the village up to parliament. Because
if you're not with a disability,
yes,
it's not your constituency to venture into.
And education at the university, we have an affirmative action at the university, where persons or children or youths with disabilities are given additional affirmative action to enter university. So that is another achievement we are proud of, that our youths with disabilities have joined the university. We are talking in terms of procurement, PDA, where we have given a provision that persons with disabilities in business, they have been given an affirmative action in terms of procuring for government. That if you're in business and you are a person with disability, you have a way. You can provide, that affirmative action is there. We are talking of, we have capital for persons with disabilities.
Yes.
Currently, we have the National Special Grant for persons with disabilities, where persons with disabilities are in a group of 5, and they are securing a grant. You have a business enterprise, you apply to government, and the government is giving money to 5 persons, between 5 and 10, they can come up with a business enterprise. You know why we're doing this? To make sure that the persons with disabilities remain within the money economy. So if we're talking about affirmative action, there are a number of things, like we have said, we are thanking the government for the inclusion. In fact, it is not, we are not only talking about participation where people are singing, no. We are talking about the real inclusion, the real participation of persons with disabilities in the development agenda. Yes.
Well, viewer, we are discussing issues regarding community-based rehabilitation of persons. An African conference in Uganda, starting from the 19th to 13th of September here in Kampala. Now, the word rehabilitation, yes, we've talked about inclusions, we've talked about that affirmative action, but a person with a disability, let's understand what it means to rehabilitate this person, because in my own context, I feel we've not done much as a country in terms of rehabilitation. For example, I would assume rehabilitation comes with enabling gadgets.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, I went to school with these persons with a disability. But one would tell, if only I can have a wheelchair, you know, if only I can have maybe the braille.
A hearing gadget.
A hearing gadget.
Yeah.
You know, some, and I think the albinos are under this category.
Yeah.
Someone who had a very good friend who would tell me, if only these would not pay tax, so that we can get, is it a sunscreen?
Sunscreen.
If they were readily available.
And glasses.
The glasses. When we go, even if you have a low movement, the lens for them, to make them easy. Lifts being compulsory in some. So let's look at this element of rehabilitation. When you go to some of the schools, you find this non-governmental, church-founded, you know, that maybe does some bit of aidings there and that. I want us to focus on that area still when you focus on rehabilitation.
Yes, Robert, very true. Government alone, we can't be everywhere.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why currently we are talking about the development partners coming on board. For the wheelchairs, we are working with the Minister of Health, Mulago Orthopedic Workshop, to make sure that our persons with disabilities who require wheelchairs, that the orthopedic workshop produces enough. And working with the wheelchair committee, we have a national wheelchair committee which is charged with the importation of wheelchairs in the country. We are trying to make sure that...
why are they still expensive?
Yes, they are still expensive.
I want to look for a wheelchair around Katwe. I wanted to give, to donate it.
A local,
yeah, I wanted to donate it to
a friend,
a person, a brother in church that I saw, and I was touched. But I tell you, I thought I was going to part with 150. But you guys were talking about 400, 500, 600.
That is why we are partnering with Minister of Health and the Orthopedic Workshop to make sure that these, either they are given free. In fact, if you went through Minister of Health, you get, it is free. Because
so I can acquire one.
It is mandate. It is by the mandate of the Minister of Health to provide the assistive devices. Okay. And we are working with the Ministry of Health, like I've said, to make sure that these wheelchairs are present and available through the wheelchair committee. These are for instance, the albino, the hearing gadgets, hard of hearing. We are trying to work with the development partners and government, URA, to make sure that the taxes are subsidized, all withdrawn, to see that they are available to persons with disabilities. Like you've said, true, like the hearing impairment, the hearing gadget, it is very expensive. Just of recent, someone came to my office, wanted to have it, and they were telling me at 1.5 million. So we are working towards collaborating with the URA to make sure that taxes are either subsidized or withdrawn. Because if we're talking about equalization, they need to be equal to us. The braille equipment, the white cane, the sunscreen, like we mentioned, we are working towards the equalization and the realization of our dream. That's what I can say, Richard. But that, having those challenges aside, we've tried our best.
We've tried our best. Well, I still believe this is a drop in an ocean. There's still so much that we can do to ensure that our brothers, our sisters, persons with disability are given equipment or enablers that enable them live to their full potential. Because they have a saying that disability is not inability. Give me what can aid me, I deliver even better than you. Still focusing on issues of community-based rehabilitation, and like I told you earlier, we are going to be hosting the Community-Based Rehabilitation Africa Conference in Kampala, and that will be at the Imperial Royal Botanical Beach in Entebbe. So we are having it in Uganda, in Entebbe, and we'll be running from the 9th to the 13th of September, focusing on community-based rehabilitation. Now, let's draw back to the history of this conference and why particularly it's here.
Like I indicated at the very beginning, Uganda was very, very pertinent in the starting of this conference. That is way back in 1979. That's when we adopted the strategy of CBR, community-based rehabilitation. And like I've said, it was all about the equalization of opportunities to make sure that persons with disabilities are not discriminated, and having, like previously we have just been talking about the wheelchairs. We are talking about, can't these wheelchairs be developed from our communities? Even we have community development officers. Can the development officers work hand in hand with the affected persons, the affected parents, to make sure that at least this person has an aid. So drawing from that, the Uganda was very instrumental in starting this strategy. And in 2001, that's 23 years back, Uganda hosted, if you count 23 years back, Uganda was the first in Africa to host this conference. And then from there, we've been to Zambia, we've been to Nigeria, we've been to South Africa. The other country skips my mind, but we've been
a number of countries,
yeah,
rotationally.
we've been to a number of countries, and the target was to make sure that persons with disabilities are included in the agenda of the various countries. So in Center, we started as African network, but it has now become global, where we have the American network, we have the Arab network, we have the Asian network, or even the South American network. So now currently it is a global network where we are focused on equalization of opportunities to persons with disabilities across the globe. So because of that global network, since we are the ones who started in around 2001, it has come back to Uganda. Uganda, we are hosting it, and we have international delegates to the tune of 400 delegates will be here, starting, like we've said, starting on the 9th to the 13th. We are going to be here. And the theme, we are running, this conference is running on a theme that advancing community-based rehabilitation in disability inclusion. What we want is inclusion, or inclusive in terms of planning, in terms of equalization of opportunities. All that is aimed, it is the reason as why we are having this conference in Uganda. It is supposed to have taken place during that time of COVID, but because of the COVID, it was suspended. So ever since that, we've been looking forward for it, and this time it is here. Our president is going to be our guest of honor.
You know, with His Excellency, we say he's expected to be the guest of honor.
Yes, the president is expected to be the guest of honor. Already the invitations have gone, and the chances are high that he will be with us to address us on issues of disability and how we are moving forward. And I want to tell you that it is not only means of gender that is in this thing. It is all. We have means of education. We have Chambogo University. In fact, my colleague from Chambogo University was supposed to be here to give the perspective of the academia. If we are talking about CBR, how have we integrated CBR in our curriculum, in our researches? What are the academias doing to make sure that a person with disability is included, so that as I go to school, as I attain a degree, I don't only attain a degree in English or literature, but we have an integration of CBR to make sure that where you are going to meet persons with disabilities, and how are you going to work with them? And that is what I was expecting my colleague from Chambogo University, if he had joined us, to be talking about it.
Well, it is all about disability and rehabilitation. The conference, like my guest has talked about, Patrick Menya, that this is going to be in Uganda. Now, it was last year, I think 21 years back. It is rotational, and we are having it. It's a big thing that we are hosting as a country, but what is most important is that we are looking at issues of disability and how we can rehabilitate through our communities. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, I and my guest are still here to discuss more regarding issues of disability.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eauktourismexpo.com to register.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Take 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Take 10. Sports Take 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
The Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, together with the International Growth Center, will host the 8th High-Level Economic Growth Forum from Thursday 29th to 30th August 2024 at Serena Hotel, Kampala, under the theme Seizing Opportunities for Structural Transformation to Increase Productivity and Resilience. This forum will provide a platform for policymakers. Speakers will include officials from the government of Uganda, development partners, the private sector, academia within and outside Uganda, civil society, and to discuss the growth strategies that will propel Uganda to achieve inclusive and sustainable tenfold economic growth. The policy recommendations from this forum will feed into the financial year 2025-2026 National Budget Strategy. The forum will examine how Uganda can seize opportunities in tourism, mining and exports, urbanization, industrialization, manufacturing and financing options amidst the rising global interest rates, reduced capital flows, global protectionism, geopolitical tensions and risks associated with climate change. This event will be broadcast live on the Ministry of Finance digital media platforms. Physical participation is by invite only. Follow the conversation using hashtag 8EGFUG.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Ankole segment. Learn about the fabrication of Ankole Kingdom from Nkore at the detriment of Mpororo states. What is the glue that holds together peoples of the beautiful village of milk and honey?
Ankole as a kingdom came about in 1901.
Ankole is a colonial fabrication.
And all these so small kingdoms were counties of the original Itara.
Ruhinda Ruanjunachi,
The son of Wamara Rhanja Njojo Rwabwera,
who was Mchwezi.
There are times when we were Pamoja, the same people.
Tuko Pamoja? Catch this in Ishaka Bushenyi at Berlin Hotel on Saturday, 31st August, and in Barra at Las Vegas Garden Hotel on Sunday, 1st September 2024. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and much thanks for being with us on UBC TV. Once again, I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono, and with me this morning I have Patrick Menya from Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and we are discussing advancing community-based rehabilitation, that is of persons with disability, in relation to the forthcoming community-based rehabilitation Africa Conference that is going to be in Uganda starting on the 9th to the 13th of September this very year at the Imperial Botanical Beach Hotel in Entebbe, where countries in Africa, and we expect over 400 international guests to be in the country as we push forward the voices calling for that rehabilitation of persons with disability. Now, Menya, we've had a number of conferences in Uganda.
Yes, please.
We're blessed as a country, I must say. From Chogam 207, we've had so many of them. Now, for this particular conference, what do we stand to benefit as a country?
Thank you, Robert. The country, how do we benefit? And specifically, persons with disabilities, how do we benefit? I want to say that how we are going to benefit as a country, we need to know to upholding the country on a global platform. It is very important that Uganda is put at a certain level, not as usual. So if we have 400 visitors in this country, so we are looking at upholding that image. So everybody of us should be ready to host the visitors. It is not going to be Menya, it is not going to be the president, but Uganda is hosting this conference. So we are saying it is there to uphold the platform. Then the other bit, we are talking about promotion of future collaborations. as you got, you know, our visitors, the visitors who are coming in here, they will be moving, after the conference, they will be moving to different projects of CBR, especially projects that are being run by persons with disabilities. So we are talking about visiting the CBR programs, visiting the CBR projects, and with, you know, if there is this continued collaboration, there is a possibility of funding. The international community may, I'm not saying will, may pick interest in some of our projects and may fund, or we may have continued collaboration in terms of advice, in terms of expertise. So when we are talking about promotion of future collaboration, it is not going to end today, it is not going to end tomorrow, but for the future. How our person with disability is going to benefit. With that is the continuous collaboration. In between our discussion, we talked about wheelchairs, we talked about assistive devices. And these assistive devices, for some time, we have been having donors. If we get such donors and they are visiting us here, so we are seeing our future being a little brighter in terms of assistive device. Because these are some of people who have been funding us, other than Mulago, other than Minister of Health, but we have other persons who have been coming in here. The other bit, we can talk about increased revenue. You know, how? These people are coming here, and for those 5 days, they will be eating here, they will be visiting. In terms of tourism, we have come up with a program where every evening, every after the program, they will be visiting a number of schools, especially they will be visiting Katarema.
Shasha Home?
Yeah, Katarema Shasha Home.
They're doing a great job.
Yes. They will be visiting other tourism sites. And remember, as they visit tourism sites, there is some money they are supposed to pay. So that's why we're talking about revenue being generated in the country. Robert, that's what I can't say. Ideally.
Well, time seems to be flying. The truth is, this summit is here, the conference is here, and now my concern is, apart from the international delegates, these are invited, they are planned for. Now, who are the participants in this?
Wow. We have, like I have said, we have academia, we have persons with disabilities, we have organizations handling issues of persons with disabilities, and government. So when we talk about people who are going to be part of us, of the 400, around 120 are local. Yeah. Then the international, they are like 300 something, making it 400.
So strictly it's about invitation?
Yeah. We opened, people were registering because there was a registration fee of our local, the Ugandans were being charged $100 to be part of this conference. And I want to say that of the 400 participants, over 400 and above, the 150 Ugandans have registered and have paid. Yeah, they have paid.
That means there's so much for one to benefit in this conference where Ugandan hosts an organization. That means there are numerous benefits. Now, before I let you go.
Yes, please.
Whenever we talk about persons with disability in this country, and I hope that disability fraternity doesn't take me so.
They will forgive you.
Many of them are sunk in poverty.
Yeah.
Someone has a disability, but still also financially they are sunk in poverty. I want a comment on that from you. Because when you move around, you find there are a number of initiatives targeting persons with disability. But that element of poverty, they're the ones begging on streets, if they're in community, really it's not that very.
Richard and my people out there, the whole thing is all about mindset change. Like I've told you government has sunk a lot of money to make sure that persons with disabilities have something today to do. They are in the money economy. They are running businesses. But despite all that has been done, other people with disabilities imagine that for them they can't do anything. I want anyone to know that these people are not disabled. They are only with a disability. So if they are only with a disability, believe me, no, what Richard you can do, a person with disability can do. And I want, as I leave, I want to comment and first of all commend persons with disabilities who have something that they are doing.
Yes.
I want to tell you that we have a number of projects that are being run by persons with disabilities. There are a number. I've moved this country and persons with disabilities have benefited from the National Special Grant for Persons with Disabilities, the PDM, that is the Partnership Development Model, the MIOGA. But we have some, let me say, some people, for them, the moment they hear of government programs, they don't want to be part. And even those who have been part, there are those who think that His Excellency the President is giving them money to eat. They are not investing this money. So my pick on this is to the person out there, let us change our mind that what I can do, what Richard can do, any other person, the person with disability can do it better. I want to tell you that even there was a time we were giving wheelchairs, but people were taking wheelchairs to Busia for smuggling. Wheelchair today, tomorrow, it is in Kenya. So all that is mindset. How can we change the attitude? How can we change ourselves? Because we are talking about changed persons with disabilities. They should be changed.
Well, they should be changed. And as we come to the end, I just need your parting shot in relation to the community-based rehabilitation conference that is going to be happening in this country. A brief conclusion on that.
A brief contribution is that everybody of us, in fact, I'm calling upon Ugandans to welcome. And those who have not registered, we still have some slots to register. You go to the Ministry of Gender website and the CAN website. There is that form you can register. Please register. Let us be together. And let us welcome the visitors with pleasure. They are going to be with us for the 5 days, and let us benefit from them. If we are having keynote addresses, those keynote those speeches, they are all about changing persons with disabilities, changing the attitude of everybody of us, changing Richard, changing me, changing any other government official or a government officer out there. So what we are talking about is we want a change in society towards persons with disabilities. That's why we're talking about community-based rehabilitation, also advancing basic community rehabilitation, a disability inclusion. What we want is persons with disabilities are included in everything that we're doing. Like we said at the very beginning, let it be in political, let it be in economic. People, we should change our mind towards persons with disabilities, and we should all together grow and develop as Uganda.
Well, thank you so much, Patrick Menya from Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. We've been discussing advancing community-based rehabilitation, looking at the coming conference that will be in Uganda at the Imperial Resort Beach Hotel in Entebbe from the 9th to the 13th, and the main focus will be community-based rehabilitation. Now, when it comes to issues of disability, my guest has said, let's support, let's create a better environment. I want to tell you, you're just a second away from a form of disability. A second away. It could be illness that can strike. It could be an accident. Some time back, I woke up and went, oh, I almost got to that. So why not participate in anything making life better for persons with disability, so that in case this uncertainty comes your way, you have a safer landing because you created the shock absorbers. Have a lovely day. May the good Lord bless you, bless Uganda. See you tomorrow, God willing, for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eauktourismexpo.com to register.